Hey friends, alright, let me ask you a question. How comfortable are you spending money on yourself? Because me, myself, and I have noticed that I do not spend money on myself. I'm scared, I'm terrified, I'm petrified, honey, I'm shaking in my boots, a little shaky, a little rattled bones. And I learned a lot about financial literacy. I would really love to talk to y'all more about financial literacy and the things that I learned from it. But one of the things I learned from financial literacy is to take risks, right? If you do not take risks, you literally will not get anywhere. Who would have thought you would have not gotten anywhere from not taking risks, honey? But the thing about me is taking risks comes with risk. Who would have thought? But I have been, I've been very, very poor, honey, growing up. I was like, it has not been easy growing up. There have been times where the refrigerator was empty. There have been times when there was no heat in the house. There have been times where I would just be out and just didn't have money for food, There would be times where, you watch all the other kids running around, at the Scholastic Book Fair buying books, and I just had to sit there with a little frowny face and live vicariously, right? And so that's just been my experience in his life, is just not having an abundance of wealth, an abundance of money, having money just to spend on frivolous things. But now that I've gotten older and I can make my own money, it still hasn't changed. Not in a way though that you would think. Bills, as we all know, bills just kind of dominate my life. And not only do they dominate, because I can't say it's the bills themselves, because I don't spend any money on any unnecessary things. They're really pretty necessity based bills. But the thing that messed me up, and I will take full accountability on this, friends, is just that I did not learn about financial literacy sooner, and what you should be spending your money on and how much you should be spending it on. And that really messed me up. So now I'm so afraid of spending money on things that aren't essential bills, because I know if at any point, if I lose my job or if the money stops coming in, anything can happen in this world, anything can happen in this life. And if that money stops coming in, then I go back to poverty. I have a fear of poverty, which keeps me from taking bigger risks to make more money. I was like, if you have not been in poverty, first of all, you do not want to be in poverty. It's not fun. It is not fun. It is stressful. You are stressed every second of the day, every minute of the day, every day that you wake up and every day that you lay your head down. Something is on your mind and something is worrying you. It's not fun being in poverty. But the second thing about it is, when you do make a little bit of money and you start moving up, the fear of poverty kind of sticks with you, and you're very afraid that it's gonna come back, because you know what it's like. You know what it's like not to have heat. You know what it's like not to have food. You know what it's like to go to bed hungry. And so to have that little taste of freedom to say, ooh, I get to go to McDonald's. When you was little and your parents were like, do you got McDonald's money? And now that, at least for me, now that I'm older, I'm like, girl, yes, I do have McDonald's money. You crazy? If I want a little McDonald's, I'm gonna get me a little McDonald's. But then I get to the McDonald's and then I get my McDonald's, and then I feel terrible, because I'm like, shoot, that could have been phone bill. I said that could have been to the car note, that could have been to insurance, honey, that could have been to rent, that could have been to gas, that could have been to new tires, that could have been to something that I know is gonna come up. I know it's gonna get me, right? But the thing that I really want to get over, and if you honestly are like me, or if this resonates with you, this is something that we're gonna have to get through together, is to face the fear of poverty in its in its face. Maybe I could have probably worded that better, but to face down poverty with all of our might, to face the fear of it and still take risks, and to still say, I'm gonna go for something bigger. I'm gonna go for something that scares me. I'm gonna be uncomfortable for a little while. And it's that uncomfortability, really, ooh, even now that I'm even speaking about it, it's still such a it's such a weight. It's something that just really shakes the spirit. Like, to be uncomfortable, to be uncertain. Once again, going right back into that whole, like, living in poverty, almost being poor, is the uncertainty of it all. At any point, when are you going to be hungry again? At any point, when are you going to be cold? When are you going to be out in the streets? Like, it really is the fear of poverty that gets me from taking risks. But I am honestly going to try my best to get over that. If you've viewed any of my, like, previous videos, I was like, that's why I've taken a demotion. Oh, speaking of the demotion, another thing I've learned from my financial literacy is to never get caught by the golden handcuffs. Sean, what are the golden handcuffs? What are the golden handcuffs, girl? I'm going to tell you what the golden handcuffs are, girl. The golden handcuffs is, let's say your employer pays you a whole bunch of money, and you are just so comfortable at work, but you are miserable at work. And in the work environment, terrible. Culture, terrible. You're stressed up, sleep down, hair falling out. You over here fighting with coworkers, doing this and that third, but you stayed because of the money. Now, that was me. I done stayed in a whole bunch of places for a whole long time, knowing that I was unhappy because I was like, they're paying me so much money to live the life that I want. But I had to figure out, and this was actually a very recent lesson that I had to learn about these golden handcuffs, is take the golden handcuffs off. Money is abundant and money is all around us. Once again, if we take the risk and we learn about that financial literacy and how money works, how money rotates, how money gets exchanged, where can money grow at, what's the easiest way to make money, what's the longest ways to make money, like all these different questions. It changes your entire perspectives, and then you can take those golden handcuffs off. I find that my peace of mind, especially as I get like older in age now, my peace of mind is something that is I'm not sure what number someone can write on a check. It would have to be a lot of zeros, but it would have to be a lot of zeros for someone to like come and disturb my peace of mind now. So I have learned to take off the golden handcuffs, and I advise most people that if you are not happy, if you are really truly unsatisfied, there is a way out. Take off the golden handcuffs. Like, if you really want out, do what it takes to get out, right? I just, oh my goodness, I think that nothing in this world is impossible. Sometimes I look around, especially in our day and age, I look around and I see things that 100, 200 years ago would have been crazy to think about. Airplanes. You have these gigantic heavy things flying in the freaking sky like nothing. People take them every day, every which way. It has changed transportation. It has changed logistics. It has changed businesses, changed people's lives. And 200 years ago, they were like, what the heck? An airplane? What's that? So I was like, nothing really is impossible if you want it bad enough. And that is the mindset that I am trying my best to hold on to, not to get like bounded by the golden handcuffs, to say like, if I'm truly unhappy with my life, let me stop, take a review, let me learn something new, let me be uncomfortable, and then move forward. I always want to be moving forward, and I try. Oh my God, friend, please keep moving forward. Everything around you is changing. Everything around you is always shifting, and we, since we live in the universe, we have to be shifting with it. We also have to be changing. Change isn't bad. It's very scary. It's very, extremely scary. Once again, that uncomfortable feeling, but it is definitely something that we have to do. But like I always say, friends, you got this. I got this. We got this. I will talk to you all later, guys. Bye.